What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dubcast. I'm here with the hosts, Ethan and Will, and we're here with our
What's up?
special guest, Ben White.
Yes, sir.
How's everyone doing today?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Amazing.
All right, man.
Bless.
Ben, you just wanna tell us a little bit about yourself. You know who you are. Just tell the viewers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. I come from a very humble beginning. I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I ended up spending my high school career in Mason, Ohio, which is the suburb of Cincinnati. Uh, I was doing pretty fairly well. I played sports. I played football, LGL, Lone Green Line, for Mason for the Mason Comets. That went well and everything. But towards it was kind of towards the end of my high school career when I was going to my senior year. I was halfway through my junior year. I had got into some trouble, and I had got into some trouble that couldn't have been avoided. And I chose to go down the wrong path, the wrong route. And that decision was based off of, I'm always going to take responsibility for every single one of my actions, every single one of my decisions that I make. But a big part of that also played around the influences that I had in my life. The people that were speaking into my mind, the people that were trying to push me to go a certain route, and the people that wanted me to do certain habits and whatnot that they had with them. So I had a lot of negative bad influences in my life, and they didn't really have much. They didn't really have much, or see much in their future. They were more concerned about the present right now. And I started to develop that mindset and that mentality as well. And that mentality and that mindset, it could have been the end of me. I tell you guys right now, it could have been the end of me. I could have died. I could have ended up locked up for a very very long time. But I know we have all sorts of different beliefs on here. But guys, I'm just going to tell you, that God really came through for me. So I always going to give him the honor and the glory. He's my creator. He's my everything. So I say that just to say this, that when I had gotten into some trouble, I had got locked up in the juvenile detention center. And I was looking at a situation that could have got me bound over to the adult system. And with that situation, I committed a very violent crime. It was a felony one. It was an aggravated robbery. And yeah, it was very deep. I should have never did it, but I had a bad situation at home. I had a very abusive relationship with my father. And that abusive relationship that I had, which was mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually as well, that ended up driving me into rebellion. So I was rebellious against my father. I was trying to do what everybody else is doing. I was trying to follow everyone else, and all the music and whatnot. And man, like I said, it drove me down a wrong path. And yeah, I committed. I ended up robbing a gas station because I had lost my job. I didn't have any money. I was paying bills as well at my father's house. I didn't know how I was going to come up with that. I had a habit. I had a habit of smoking weed. So I had to get some money for that as well. So I just ended up just the way my mind was working and whatnot. The way my mind was just it was stale. I ended up making such a poor decision and not really thinking about the consequences of the long term and the long well. So I ended up doing that. I ended up looking at a very serious situation. It didn't really hit until it really didn't hit till I had woke up the next day, to a 4x4 of, brick walls and a cell door. It didn't really hit till then. And, I had to really, ask God, what did I get myself into? I know this wasn't how I was raised. This is not how I saw myself having a future. But at the end of the day, I had to look at the influences I had in my life. I had to look at the decisions I was making. I had to look at, where I was putting myself at, So, with that, thankfully, I made a decision that I was going to follow Christ. I made a decision I was going to turn my life around because I knew that I wanted a brighter future for myself. I knew that, if I have a family, and I start my legacy, I know that I want to be successful. I don't want to be any and everybody. I want to do what anybody and everybody does. I want to do something great. I want to be able to. I want to take part in changing this world for the better. So God blessed me to get out. I ended up doing about, let's say, about 8 to 9 months, and I actually went back home to Wisconsin. I actually picked up a gig with insurance. I started selling insurance. I was doing pretty great. I was making about $1,000 to $2,000, a week, and my opportunity got cut short because we had lost the union, and that was just because of a poor decision that I made because I got into a heated argument with one of the members of our union. So I ended up losing that opportunity, and I honestly think that it was best that I did because I started to go back. I started to kind of dibble and dabble back into that same path that I was just on, and I had to realize where I was going down. I'm making money I've never made in my life as far as $1,000 to $2,000. I'm spending it on halves. I'm spending it on rims and Camaro this and all these different designs and all this stuff and I'm really kind of putting God on the back burner. So it was during that time God actually humbled me, and I had to sit back and I had to realize where He brought me from. The situation I just came from, and I had to really sit back and look at it like I'm not going back down that wrong path. This is a good time to really sit back and reflect and make sure I get myself back in the right direction. So when I had got right, and I started to get my focus back going on. I started to get back into everything. God blessed me with the opportunity. This is a man that this man actually, he's from my church. I've known him. I was born and raised into my church, and I've known this man. Oh man, for it's been probably about, I want to say, at least 10 years, 12 years. He came across the opportunity with Tradera, and Tradera is a financial service platform, where they teach you Forex, Forex education, stocks, indices, commodities, and they also do as well technical analysis. But I came across him because he was posting about this opportunity, and I was interested. I was like, I was looking at his post like, what makes this so important, that you're posting about it. You're talking about how awesome it is. You're posting results about how much money you're making. You're talking about how this is such a blessing to your family. I want to get in. I want to know what this is about. So I took that leap of faith. I asked him about it. He sent me a video. I watched the video, and of course, I was kind of skeptical at first because I'm like, is this some type of scam? Is this a pyramid scheme or something? And I had to do my research. So as I did my research, I did the reviews. I went on the Better Business Bureau's website. I looked at the different remarks and the different what's the word I want to say, the different like the different, I guess, the comments and whatnot, reviews. I'm sorry, reviews, the different reviews and whatnot. And I prayed about it. God gave me peace about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, put my foot down. I'm gonna take a leap of faith. I'm gonna go ahead and invest in myself, which is that $99 for my education. And also, once I did that, I'm telling you, ever since then, I haven't looked back. I haven't looked back. The only thing is that I wish I focused on one side of the business more so than the other, more so than focusing on both, because there's two sides to this business, because they offer a referral compensation plan, as far as, bringing on, your like 3 referrals, helping them, build their business and whatnot, and they'll pay you for it. It ranges from $500 a month to $100,000 a month. And then also there's the trading side of where they give you all the education. They give you, they also have live webinars, professional traders that, they show you exactly, what they know, how to look at the market structure, the price action, the risk management, all those, different aspects. They have signals. They give you live free signals of what the market is going to be looking like, and, what trades to get into. They give you a market forecast to tell you, what, the market is probably going to be doing the week following. They give you all these different details and all this information, as far as being able to make the best decisions and then to be profitable, in this market. Because a lot of people, they have these different strategies and all these different other types of things, as far as trading, but not everyone is going to be correct. Not everyone is going to make you profitable. And I'm telling you right now, if you think you can just hop in the market, with no education, and you think you're just going to get rich quick, I'm going to tell you absolutely right now that you're wrong, and that's foolish. You know why? Because there are guys in this company that have been trading for 10 years, 5 years plus, and they still take their losses. Yes, they have their gains, but they also take their losses as well. So, for you to think, you're going to hop in the market, and you just buy a trade or sell a trade, and you're going to get rich quick, I'm going to tell you right now that's not how it works. You got to have the education. You have to have the education. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up with that. As far as introducing myself, what I'm about, I'm going to go ahead, open the floor, for any questions that you guys may have.
Perfect. We have some written out, and that was a humbling story. I'm glad you got to share that.
Yes,
Thank
thank
Uh,
you.
so I guess let's just start off by what is Forex?
So what is Forex? Forex, which is the term for, the foreign exchange market. The foreign exchange market is an international global market which is comprised of all the world's currencies. So, for example, you guys are definitely familiar with the US dollar. We call that the USD. You guys are, I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with the euro, maybe
Yep.
the Japanese yen, maybe
Mm-hmm.
so, the Swiss franc, maybe the New Zealand dollar, or, the Australian dollar or the Canadian dollar. Those are all different currencies, foreign currencies that go into pairs, and they're different pairs in the market, and those prices, the prices of those pairs, they fluctuate at different times throughout the market, where you can either buy or you can sell, and you can profit during both. Now I know with stocks, because I also have some very important information to share with you, with the difference between the forex market and the stock market. So I know that with stocks, you can only really make money when the stocks are going up, and if they go down, you start losing money. But
Yep.
actually, with the foreign exchange market, you can make money, if the market goes up, or you can make money when the market goes down. It's having that knowledge of when to buy, when to sell, and when to catch your lot sizes, because the amount of pips that you catch or you lose, that's the necessary dollar amount that you're going to be gaining, whether it's $1, $5, $100, $1,000, $10,000. That's why you see all these different, these rich mentors and whatnot, because they got into the experience, and they have a large account to where they, each pip, if they catch 257 pips, and each pip is worth like $10,000, you can pretty much do the math on it. But just to go ahead and give you guys a fact that's actually going to blow your minds. I'm pretty sure you guys know about it more so on the stock side of things, but the stocks usually turns over about $253 billion a day. Did you guys know that? I'm pretty sure you guys knew that, correct?
I'm sure Will did.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm
Oh
sure
yeah,
Will
I'm
did.
sure.
okay. So yeah,
yeah, for sure.
stocks turns over about 200, anywhere between 253 to $257 billion a day. The foreign exchange market turns over 6.8. We're actually close to 6.8 trillion dollars a day. Why? Because it's comprised of all of the world's currencies.
Wow.
That's what's up,
Yes,
That's
man. Big money.
crazy.
yes.
We got a question actually from NYC Customs. Does Forex open and close like the stock market? When's the best time to trade?
Okay, so the forex market actually closes. It closes on Friday, opens back on Sunday. So yes, there is. So it's not open 24/7. It's definitely not open 24/7. But we are open. It is open throughout the week. It is open throughout the week. The best times, honestly, to catch those trades. I would, as far as my experience, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys, keep it up front. I've only been doing this for about a month and a few weeks, but it's just the education. It's just the education that they provided me with, that makes me seem like I have so much experience or whatnot, or I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's because of the education that they provided. I've been grinding and that that platform. But as far as my answer to that, the best times to probably trade is going to be the New York session, which is just around pretty much 6 a.m., anywhere between 6 a.m. to about 12.
Okay.
Is there any particular reason for that?
12 a.m. or
So the
12
particular
a.m. or
reason
p.m.
is because a lot of guys, a lot of these investors, the hedge funds. So guys, the major players in the markets are going to be the banks. It's going to be the banks, the hedge funds, the private banks, and also even the public ones. So these guys, these are the guys that are moving millions of dollars, creating all this momentum in the market. And those guys, especially in the U.S., there's different time frames and whatnot. Of course, all around the world and whatnot, but specifically also in the U.S., a lot of people, they're mostly getting their work done. In the morning, most people are getting their work done in the morning, and that's why it goes all throughout the day. That's why it goes all throughout the day. Besides the weekend, you know what I'm saying? It's because
Yep.
this is an international market. It's an international market, so you got banks and hedge funds from Europe and Asia and in Africa, all these other different countries, that's moving money throughout the market.
Right.
Hey, Will, did
So-
you have a question?
So how volatile? Well, for my first question is it 12 a.m. or p.m.?
You said 12 a.m. or p.m.?
Yeah.
12 p.m. So just about New York probably would just about last from anywhere between. I rather say 7. I rather say 7 a.m. to about 12 p.m. But we could really even go from 7 a.m. to about 5 because Asian session starts around 9. Starts around
Okay.
9 EST. So
And then I was also going to ask, how volatile
uh,
is the foreign exchange market?
how volatile. So the foreign exchange market. I mean, man, to be honest with you, how volatile is the foreign exchange market? Well, I mean, it varies. It kind of varies, because I tell you what, you know, you can lose money. You can lose money as much as you can gain it. A lot of people have this mentality, they're going to be able to, get rich quick, being able to trade this and that, buy and sell, these different pairs and whatnot. But it's a lot more than just buying and selling. That's why education, the saying knowledge is power. That's a very true factual statement. So as far as that goes, it really comes down to your education and whatnot. As far as you being able to make it as volatile as possible.
Uh, Someone said, what intervals do you do? 15 minutes, an hour?
So the best time frames personally that I've learned to look at is anywhere between the 1 hour time frame and also the 4 hour time frame. Why? It's because those different structures. So I'm telling you guys, market structure. If you guys don't understand market structure, you're gonna have a very hard time in the market, because market structure is what gives you a basic understanding of what the market's doing, when it's going to drop, when it's going to shoot up, and when to catch your buys and when to catch your sells as well. So as far as I'm concerned, the intervals that I like to look at the 1 minute. I like to look at the 5 minute. I like to look at the 1 hour time frame and the 4 hour. But I mainly like to look at the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and that's because the 1 hour, it'll show you all the different moves. It'll show you all the different moves and as far as price that's going on in the market. And if you see a certain break in structure, you can already kind of make that judgment that the market's either going to go bullish or bearish. And once it keeps going, you can switch back to the 4 hour time frame, and then you'll really be able to confirm and be able to retest and understand exactly where the market's going to be going. so you can, figure out what entry you're going to be making, for that trade that you're going to get into.
Yeah, and you kind of touched on this when you were introducing yourself. You said you were kind of skeptical about it at first. You just thought it was a scam. You
Yes.
thought it was some
Yes.
type of get rich quick scheme. What do you think about those?
Right.
Because I see a lot of those on YouTube where
Right.
these advertisements where these guys are like, oh, this guy joined my program and now he's a fucking millionaire, or
Yeah.
join pay me a bunch of money and I'll make you rich. What do you think about those? Do
Uh-huh.
you think they're all just a bunch of scams or what?
So let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and elaborate on that. So, guys, a lot of times, most people think these types of, opportunities are scams. Is because they either been scammed, or they just have this strong mentality of the average 9 to 5. So I'm going to go ahead and definitely tell you that yes, there's a lot of scams out there on the internet, but that's also exactly why you have to know how to do research. You have to have kind of a business mindset. You have to also excuse me, you have to also seek counsel for people who are familiar with different business modules, whether they be insurance, or real estate, or whether it's forex or stocks. So you have to be able to really do the research, take a look into it, look at people's different reviews, see what's going on as far as who's saying what, what do they think about this and whatnot. But definitely looking for those professional you definitely want to look for the professional people that have experience as far as in business, and they'll be able to tell you exactly what they think. They'll be able to help you and conduct research with that. But I will say, yes, there's a lot of scams out there, and you have to be very vigilant to that. 9 times out of 10, a scam, it's going to be something. It's going to, especially like a pyramid scheme as well, it's going to be something that's going to require you to pay money, and doesn't offer you no type of service, no type of product. It's just they just try and get you to bring in all these different people, and they ask you to pay a certain price, and you end up losing your money. And
Right.
all these
Right.
people at the top make the money, and everybody at the bottom pretty practically loses their money. So that's definitely one of the things I learned as far as the different pyramid schemes, all these different scams out here and whatnot. Man, I'll tell you, I've joined a lot of Facebook groups, that talk about different opportunities, and every time somebody posts like a legit opportunity, I always see these scammers out here, posting these Telegram links, trying to tell you, oh, invest $50, make $100 million. Like,
Right.
get out of here, man. Like, ain't
Right.
nobody falling for that mess.
Right. Nobody falls for that.
Right, nobody's falling for that. I mean, unless you're just outright foolish and you think you're going to hit
Right.
the gold pot.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jelani, this is I just added to the title. This is Ben White, and he says research the person you're going into business with.
Of course.
Oh, you have
100%.
to. You have to. You can't just blindly. I'll tell you right now, you can't just blindly trust anybody. And that's not just with business. That's just with anybody. You have to. You have to get to know that person. You have to be able, to be around them. Experience them. You have to, exactly get into people's reviews. You have to seek counsel. That's not just business. That's just with anybody. And that's just with anything.
For sure.
So,
Of course.
I was gonna ask, with all the stimulus checks going out,
Uh-huh.
and you're working with a lot of currency, do
Uh-huh.
you think that we're gonna have deflation of the U.S. currency, U.S. dollar?
To be honest, more so I honestly could see that more so like on the stock side. But as far as because unemployment is starting, the rates for unemployment, those are starting to drop. People are getting jobs, and getting back into the workspace and whatnot. We also do still have some people that are unemployed as well. So casually, the economy is being built back up, after taking such a huge hit. It's still being impacted as well. because of this COVID-19 situation. So,
Mm-hmm.
as far as what I would say to that,
Right.
I would more so kind of say maybe, on the stock side, but I mean, that's a real touchy question. That's a real touchy question. But
For
as
sure.
far as the as far as the foreign exchange market, I really couldn't see it. I really couldn't see it necessarily because these banks. I actually have a very important fact to tell you guys. So any of you guys that have a bank, any of you guys that have a bank, that bank is an institutional investor in the foreign exchange market. They trade the funds of their clients in the market, and they make anywhere between 500 to 1,000% off of each dollar, of their clients. So I'm telling you guys, they profit like crazy in the foreign
Right.
exchange market.
So why not do it
Based
yourself, right?
right, exactly. My point.
Exactly.
Why not make your own phone, a walk-in ATM machine? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. So do you think China is a really good currency to invest in
China.
or
So
look into?
the Japanese yen. So I mean, the different pairs, as far as the different pairs that go, they're always different. So it's not going to be just like one pair. It's going to be like two pairs that transition. So I'll give you an example, guys. So let's say, obviously, you guys are here in the U.S. Let's say you guys go. Let's say you guys go to. Let's see here. Let's say you guys go to Canada and you have to exchange your currencies, for the Canadian dollar. So you probably leave with $500. You exchange your currency, you get 729, Canadian dollars, and then that's based off of the rate of where price is, for that currency pair right there, which is the USD and the Canadian dollar. So now let's say you guys, fly back, to the United States, and you gotta you exchange your Canadian dollars, for USD, and you get about $36 more than what you started with, which is about like $536. Right there, you guys right there. You guys were basically able to profit based off of the exchange rate of the currency pair in the market. So that's
And the
exactly.
chances of losing your money are very slim to nothing compared to stocks, right?
Oh,
Or
well,
or
I'll
or
say.
can you lose your money extremely fast?
Well, that's the
And
thing.
will it?
So,
And how fast does it come back? Though, how does it come back as fast as the stock market?
well, yeah, that's the thing. So that's the thing. There's only one way you can make money in stocks, as far as what I've been told and taught, and that's from buying, and that's from the market shooting up. But with the foreign exchange market, you can buy when the market's going up, and you can sell when the market's going down, and you can profit from both ways. But I will tell you, beware of greed. Beware of greed and beware of ignorance. Those are the two killers that's just gonna absolutely smack your pockets away. So the reason I say that, we have an acronym of as far as the systems. It stands for save yourself, stress, time, energy, money. You know, so that's what systems stands for. And as long as you can follow the system, which is based off of the education that's provided, the mentors that are professionally, that's making professionally anywhere between 100,000 to a million, a billion, or whatever. You know, it's basically, you have to have education. You have to have the people that can guide you in the right direction. You have to be able to make those sound decisions and able to profit. Because
Absolutely.
if you make a bad decision, I promise you guys are going to learn from that decision. Once you see that you blown your account. you know You put in $50, you start profiting, might maybe make $20 profit. You got 70. All of a sudden, you cash your lot size to like 1.0, 1.00, and the market shoots down, and you're in a buy, and your market's clean. Your market's absolutely swept clean. Nothing in your account. You're gonna be like, wow, I should have never did that. I should have never did that. So, like I said, it comes down to knowledge. It comes down to risk management. It comes down to understanding market structure. It comes down to understanding price action. It comes down, to understanding, all the different elements, and all the different, categories, all the different units, all the different, knowledge that, is associated with the foreign exchange market.
Yeah, Jelani says you will take losses, but I found Forex more viable.
Yes, you will take. Yes, that's the thing. So that's one of our major disclaimers is that what the profits that we show you, we're not telling you that you're going to make exactly what I'm making, but as long as you're working hard, you're coachable, you put in the time, you're putting in the dedication, you're getting after it, you're going to get some results. You're going to get some results. But for the people that want to be ignorant and want to do it their way, and they don't want to listen to nobody, those are going to be the first ones that slam their computer shut and say Forex is a scam.
So I'm guessing there can be very fast return in this.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. I
So
just
it's
started
like day
trading.
trading, kind of.
You said what? Now I'm sorry.
Is it like day trading?
Yes. So there's three different strategies of trading. So you have the intraday trading, you have scalp trading, you have swing trading. And what that necessarily is, so scalp, what you're scalping is, necessarily putting in a trade, watching it, as soon as it hit profits, you take it right away. Intraday, you trade throughout the day, you cast all your different trades, you'll watch them throughout the day. And, during those different times, you're waiting, for price to reach, a certain point in the market. And then, you catch those profits. And then you have, your swing trades, which is what you wait on. You wait days for those trades to hit, your take profit, which you probably set at a certain level in the market. So, you can get as much as possible, or it could hit your stop loss. It's so important that you have a stop loss, that you set up a stop loss and a take profit in a market, because, having a stop loss and a market, that swings back and forth, that's very, very risky. A lot of those traders that, that don't use the stop losses, those are usually, the millionaires that, got, millions on their accounts and whatnot. And they can afford, they can afford for price to swing wherever it wants. And then, being able to profit, when they're ready to, based off of where price is.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what are your views on stocks compared to this?
So, like I said, I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys. I'm not too enlightened. I know I mentioned this in the chat. I'm not too enlightened on stocks, but as far as that is part of my educational platform. That they do offer as far as educational, and I haven't really got to it yet because I've been focusing mainly on the technical analysis that they developed, and I've been focusing on the forex, side of the education, because I'm really trying to. I really want to, profit. I have my goals that I want to go ahead and set, get into. But, the main thing that I knew about stocks is that, you can only make money, when you're buying, and the stocks are going up. And as soon as they plummet down, you lose money. I have family that has stocks and whatnot. And, when they turn on the television, they always say, "Oh, I lost my money," when they're talking about the stocks going down and whatnot. But with the foreign exchange market, you can make money whether the market's going up or whether it's going down. It's having that education as far as when to buy and when to sell in the market, based off of what it's doing. So I actually really like the forex side of it, because of the fact that you can buy and sell. With stocks you can only really buy, and I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if you can. Do you guys watch? Like, do you guys watch it consistently? Do you profit consistently, daily, or is this something that you guys wait for like a week or so, or like a few days or something?
Well, it's the same thing. It's like it's just companies instead of
Okay.
currencies,
Okay.
and you can choose how long you want to, and
Okay.
you can make a little bit of money. Well, you can make a lot of money on the way down, but it's a lot more risky because you got to buy options and put puts on the market. But on that you can put a put on any market, like any company. You can put a put on. You can put on the Dow market. You can put a put on the S&P 500.
Uh-huh. I saw you guys mention something about like a Dan stock or something.
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
stock that I was looking at. So it's like automotive parts for
Uh-huh.
like semis, off-road equipment, also forklifts and
Uh-huh.
stuff. And I was researching it, saw a couple videos on it, and it seems pretty undervalued. And I was looking at I think it's at like I don't want to be wrong. It's $11 and something. Let's just say 11.50.
Uh-huh.
And yeah,
Yeah,
anybody
I saw
watching,
that.
definitely look into Dan
He says,
and
"What's a
let me know
Dan
what you guys
stock?"
think. Dan the man stock.
I know one thing for sure. These 14-wheelers, hauling back and forth, with all these different supplies. I know that, their industry is making, I know they're making a killing, with this whole COVID-19 situation and having to, run all these different supplies and all this other different stuff, back and forth.
Absolutely, man. I see so many of them on the roads nowadays. It's ridiculous.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So I'm pretty sure that their industry, is striving. So that personally, that does sound like a good stock, to invest in.
Yeah. I mean, stocks are a lot about just learning about a bunch of businesses that I mean, we're into business. We really like stocks from the aspect of we like to find businesses that we predict are going to be the next, maybe not the next Apple or the next Tesla,
No,
but something that's going to be big or something
Right.
that'll be bigger than it is now, and then we'll invest into it now.
Right.
Or something like Kroger, where we see Kroger's more long term. So it's more you'd keep it for a couple years. And then as Kroger click list and all their stuff gets better at Kroger and they keep improving on the technological side of it, it'll slowly going up how much it costs. And the more people that invest, a lot of investing is about the media. So if you predict so the media will post a lot of stuff like, oh, this stock's about to jump up. If you hop in it before everyone sees that, then you'll ride the wave because when they put in money, then it costs more a share. So you'll make more money and then you'll hop out. So that's another way to look at it. So there's a bunch of different ways to look at it. But I'm definitely a lot more interested in Forex now, and I definitely am going to look into it a lot more.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. I can send you a company video as far as the overview. I can send it to all you guys. I can send you the link as far as the overview and whatnot, and it can give you the specifics, on our company and exactly what we can offer you.
For sure. We'll definitely get into that after this podcast.
Absolutely. Let's
For
do
sure.
it. Let's do it.
All right. So now let's talk about. Oh, hold up. We have a question. What risk ratio from NYC Customs? Or Francis? What risk ratio do you use, and time intervals of how long you stay in a trade?
Okay. So since I'm new, I'm not doing those swing trades. I'm not, I don't really like day trades. I do the day trades, a few of them, if they say that they're swing trades or whatnot, but I'm definitely not swinging, waiting to profit, for 3 to 4 days. I could, should I, yes, but I mean, it's based off of, your options, your opinions. So personally, I like scalping. I like being able, to, once they, send out those signals, or, once, structure in the market has broken and, it's starting, to rise or starting to, go low. I want to get into that trade right away once structure has broken. That way, once the structure is broken, the pips, you start catching all these pips. And oh my goodness, I'll tell you, when the market is like booming and it's like it's either shooting high or it's just shooting low, and you're in that initial buy or you're in that initial sell, and you get in it, and you get into that entry right away when it breaks structure and it starts to head either way. You can catch a lot of pips that way, and I like doing that, and I like catching those pips right away. Right away.
For
I
sure.
don't want to wait. I don't want to wait, a day. I don't want to wait all these
Oh,
hours.
waiting will kill you in any kind of investing, whether it's stock
Man,
market, forex. Waiting will be your worst
Yeah,
enemy.
time
it will. It
burn
will.
you.
But
Right.
I also learned that it can also be your best friend, because I learned that, in trading, to be honest with you, trading is 80% waiting and 20% buying and selling. Why?
True.
Because when you looking at those different time frames, those different time intervals, when you're looking at those give you exactly, they'll show you exactly what price is doing, what the market's doing, how structure is going, when is it going to break, when is it going to shoot up, when is it going to shoot high, and being patient and being able to watch that, wait for a retest. If you see that retest, that's confirmation, go ahead and get into it. Man, I tell you, waiting, an extra hour, or extra 4 hours, to see, and wait for a retest, that can actually, be, save your account. That can save your account, or or also, that can also shoot your account. That can shoot your account. So, as far as I'm concerned, man, my bad, guys. Hold on.
You good?
Okay, we're good.
Rackboard Juggin 6 said, "Put me onto forex. I'm trying to get rich today."
Missed it, man. We just talked about it for a whole fucking hour.
All right, so
My guy. Let me say this. I'm gonna just say this real quick. I'm telling you guys, forex is not a get rich quick. Yes, you
Right.
can profit. Yes, you can profit, and you can get results and whatnot. But guys, you want to be able to develop a trading plan and stick to it. If you don't stick to your trading plan, guys, you're gonna be making these dumb decisions, blowing accounts left and right. You're gonna get mad. I've only been trading for I've probably been trading for about 3 weeks now, and I've already blown like 2 of my accounts. I was super salty, super salty. I profited. Yes, I did get the profit, but once I started seeing I was profiting, I thought I was the stuff. So I went in and cashed at my lot size. My lot size is up there, and man, I got fooled. I was in a buy, and the market dropped. It dropped down when I should have been in the sell. Man, my account got blown away. I was salty. So, it's so important. It's so important, that you lose. I'm telling you guys, our mentors, they can't stress it enough. Risk management is so important. Because, if you're not managing, your lot sizes, you're not managing, what type of trade you're getting into, and what pairs you're getting into, and, you're just doing whatever, you're going to blow your account every single time,
right.
instead of profiting. So, you always want to start out low. You want to start out with a low lot size, which is probably going to be like 10 cents per pip, or like maybe a 50 cents or 70 cents per pip, and, if you catch about $11, you catch about $12, so, that's good. But, don't go throwing your lot sizes up to like $10 per pip, and you only got like $50, $100 in your account. It's going to get blown away. It's going to get blown away. So.
All right. So, do you guys want to change and start talking about what's going on in the news right now? Touch on that now.
Yes.
All right. So, first thing, the biggest thing in the news: TikTok who? China. So we've been known about this. I mean, everyone's starting to catch on now. That TikTok, that app service. I don't think any of us particularly partake in TikTok
anymore, at least.
Nope, I don't. I've never done a TikTok.
Me and Ethan
But-
definitely used to dabble in it a little bit. I got like 20K views on a Minecraft video I made, but I had to delete it when all this stuff was coming out with China, because they're saying like, oh, that they're selling information, they're doing all this. So I was like, fuck that. I deleted it like a week ago. I said,
Yeah.
fuck
So
that
yeah,
shit.
they're basically selling TikTok is a app based in China, and they're selling your information. It has been 100%. There's no question about it. And it was banned in India because of other stuff going on in China. But it will be. Is it banned already in the US? Maybe not yet, but it will be banned.
It's definitely gonna be.
Wow.
It's going
Thank
to be banned,
God. I never
especially
got involved
right.
with
Thank
it.
God.
Right.
I'm just happy it's all. I'm not particularly a TikTok, so.
Yeah, I never got into that. I'm so glad I didn't because man, I tell you. Sounds like that's a scam right there, guys. That's a scam.
That's a scam. Y'all
TikTok
really get
is a
scammed. Y'all ain't
scam.
make any money out of it either.
Y'all got scammed.
Right.
Y'all got licks. Every single one of y'all.
Nah, but like,
All right.
go ahead.
Keep talking.
No, you go. You go.
ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna say like, I don't know. I feel like people were kind of expecting this. At least the people that were into the tech news and weren't living under a fucking rock. People were always talking about, oh, this is an app from China. So they're playing by different rules over there. We have to be cautious of what's actually going on and what they're doing with our information. And now we're just finding out what they're doing. And Jelani says Trump not playing those games.
He said what? He said. So speaking of Trump, let's talk about Trump taxes.
Yeah.
Will, you want to get?
We think. Well. So there's some more news on it, and the taxes are not going to be released to the public until after the election.
Jeez. That's scary.
Oh.
I heard
that is a
Kanye's
little
running
scary.
for president.
Yeah, I want to see Kanye run for president. I want to see that. I don't know if it's a mental breakdown or not, but I want to see it.
Yeah,
as long as it's not a mental breakdown.
Speaking of Kanye West. Kanye West's mental breakdown.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I had
when
to
was
jump out
that?
of the gap.
I think he's going on one with this whole presidency right now.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
that's what they're saying. I think someone from the family spoke out and said that he's going through a bipolar episode, and that everything he's been saying is just, caused from his issues.
And what's ridiculous about that is, this is why you don't marry a thought, for one. All right. Because she's just making bread off his mental breakdowns, and I'm sure she doesn't even mind it. She's reposting his tweets. And that, guys, is why you do not mess with a thought.
Yeah, man.
Who is acting
I've learned
for
some
attention.
lessons about messing with gold diggers. I've learned, lessons about messing with fast girls, that only want to have sex. I learned many lessons about, women, and that's exactly why. I want a wife. I want a girl who loves God more than anything or anybody, because I know if she loves God, I know everything else will fall into place. Because it's really hard to find, those types of women nowadays, because a lot of women, they like to do a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of crazy stuff that I'm sure that all you guys, can go ahead and put exactly, into your minds as far as what they like to get into. Men as well.
Oh, of course.
Exactly. And I think it's not helping it at all due to the fact that, Kanye is not in a very good mental state. He hasn't he
like
hasn't
Jelani
says,
he says love Kanye, but he's not going to be president. The mental breakdown is hurting him even more. You should not put somebody with mental issues in that much
Joe Biden.
pressure.
What? Who said that?
Dude, no, I mean,
I think every single one. I think everybody. I don't think there's one person on the ballot that I think should be president.
Yeah, I'm definitely not with Biden, and I'm definitely not with Trump. With neither of them.
I'm 100% not with Biden, and Trump has just been disappointing me. So it's just like everything's just been disappointing me. Everything. I want to see someone take charge and actually make a difference. I want someone to talk about. I want them to talk more about Black Lives Matter. I want them to talk more about the economy, and I want them to talk more about fixing the trade war with China and less on Twitter.
I mean, all Trump is doing is talking about the economy. That's
Well, yeah,
that's
but
half
he's
the
not
battle.
talking.
Cause like, cause,
Well,
cause,
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
let's go to the next section here. Tyler, get us up on the webpage. Open up the first Ohio coronavirus cases.
Man,
Gotcha.
I heard
Click
you guys
on
got
that.
it. I heard you guys got it bad over there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's getting worse.
It's bad.
Man.
Well, it's bad. It's bad, dude.
Man.
Yeah,
It's
masks are now
worse.
mandatory
It's actually
everywhere
worse.
except for Warren County right now. Around our area, Butler County, masks are mandatory.
Won't be long.
Right, exactly. I mean, they're bringing us back to school, even though cases are worse than when they took us out. So I want to hear where that logic is.
Yeah, right. I
The
kind of saw that
economy.
on social media.
Yeah,
Where
the
is
feds.
logic in
I
that?
don't know.
Alright.
There's
So
Well, it's not the Fed.
here's what we're looking at.
It is hot.
You guys can see
zone.
this.
here. Do you see the watch stream thing, Ben?
Yes, I do.
All right, just click that and then you'll see stuff. All right,
Okay.
so this is the U.S. right now
This is
or
Ohio.
Okay. Wow. So
Yeah.
that was the first.
And actually, look at the peak. Look at the first peak on there. Look at the first peak.
This one right
Look at
here.
that number.
1,000.
What's the number? Yeah. What?
April,
1,300, I believe.
This was in April 1380, and this was yesterday 1525.
So it is getting worse.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Man.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy though? I'm hearing that the cases and the deaths of HIV was actually quite worse than this pandemic, and it was never really reported.
Really?
Yeah, I'm hearing those deaths were far greater. I mean, you could probably search it up and see yourself, but I've heard that the HIV rates and those deaths have been much numerous than this COVID-19 situation.
All right. So you guys heard it here. Wear masks and wear condoms.
Right. Well, you know
heard it here.
Well, you know why.
Wear your protection.
You know why it doesn't get the attention is because a lot of that it affects minorities more than anything, and it affects LGBTQ members more than anything, and I feel like that's why it's not getting as much media coverage, is because something like the coronavirus, shutting down businesses and
it's the sad truth. It's disappointing.
Exactly, fucking worldwide
that our country's
pandemic.
built on media.
Yeah. Do you guys think that we overreacted or we underreacted when the situation first brought itself to light?
Oh, we
Well, look at us. Get
totally
a website with
underreacted.
us versus every single other country. And it'll just speak for itself, dude. I mean, this is
Worldwide.
This is blown. Like, this is crazy.
These are worldwide cases shooting up exponentially.
Yeah, worldwide cases are no joke right now. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Over 200,000 yesterday. Jeez.
Mm.
How do
I think all of us are gonna think it's overreacting until it affects someone we know. I think it's gonna be one of those things.
Well, I'll share this with you guys. Share this with you. It was reported by a nurse that the medical side, this field, they have been reporting false numbers, especially in the media, so they could get more funding for this COVID-19 situation, for these hospitals and their pay and everything. So that was factual.
Shit.
Yeah, and that was put out there.
That is crazy. So you can't trust, like we've said almost every podcast, you cannot trust any number. You can't.
No.
You just can't trust any number.
No. Yeah,
Exactly.
they're trying to get this funding. They're trying to get this funding, from the government, because the more cases they get, the more funding they're going to get as well.
Right.
Exactly.
And it was kept from the beginning, just when it started in China and they were giving false reports. They were saying that there's only a few thousand cases over here. It's all we got it under control. It'll be all fine. you know.
Jelani said Forest Park is a hot zone
And
right now.
Hey, man.
someone asked what happens when you blow an account.
Oh,
That's
so
Francis.
yeah, it just popped on my mind. I also wanted to share my my information with you guys. If any of you guys wanted to reach out with me, if I can get you that video and some more information or whatnot, get you on the phone with you guys with my professional mentor, who's doing pretty well in the company and whatnot. But when you blow an account, you practically lose the majority of all your money that you placed onto that account. So, you can start out with $50, $100, $1,000, and you'll end up, anywhere between zero to, anywhere between $0 to like $15. That's what blowing your account is.
All right, let's see.
Oh, and also, if any of you guys want to go ahead, and contact me, I'll go ahead and just drop my business phone number.
Yeah, plug yourself. Go for it, bro.
It's gonna be area code 414 since I'm in Wisconsin. 414-210-9089, and you can also shoot me an email at lowercase ii whiteben@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at _ Mr. Ball.
For
You guys
sure.
heard it here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have anything else to talk about today?
Absolutely not. I mean,
Nah.
I answered that question. I answered that question as far as
Right.
blowing your account.
All right, guys. I think that was a
Right.
good podcast. Thank you for everyone who's tuned into it. Thank you, Jelani.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Francis,
Remember to like
Tyler,
it,
Singh,
subscribe.
everybody who joined in. Like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications so you know we're streaming. Thank you, Ben.
Absolutely.
You inspired
Praise the
me.
Lord.
I don't know if I feel like you inspired all of us, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah, he really woke us up, man.
Told us a
Hey,
great
man.
story. Taught us a lot of things. We appreciate you, man.
Oh no, man, that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. If I'm telling you guys, your influences, the people in your circle, you really have to sit back and reflect and look at those people and see if they're pushing you toward success, if they're pushing you toward, your purpose, your calling, or you got to see if they're, pulling you away from that and they're pulling you back from it, and they're trying to pull you, and into their mess that they're getting into, so they can, pull you away, from your blessings, from from your success, from your legacy. So, I didn't realize that. Until I had it take place, in my own circle. I had people trying to pull me in their direction, in their direction of failure. So, it took me a couple of downs of falling down and God picking me back up and showing me and spanking me, and telling me, you keep doing that same thing, you're going to get the same results, when you're going to change and want something better for yourself. So, if I could just do that, and just share that, with anybody, and that can touch their hearts, make them, inspire them to change, to go a better path and the right path, then man, I've done my purpose. I've done my blessing.
Well, there it is.
Absolutely. All right.
There
You guys
have
have a great night.
Absolutely.
See.
God bless.